Anderson Pierre. A beautiful day here in this beautiful city, Mobile, Alabama. Maybe. I don't know. Anyhow, looking at the beer ramble, looking at Peroni, Nastro, Azzurro, an Italian beer, pale lager, 5.1 ABV. It's a Euro pale lager. Somehow gets a poor score. Had this before, but gets a poor score on Beer Advocate. Why is that, I wonder? Anyhow, hold on, let me open the beer. Shouldn't do that. It's going to hurt my teeth. I forgot to bring my can opener out here. But anyhow, Beer Advocate and the Bros give it a very poor score for whatever the reason. But I've had this before. First time I had this was in 2006. My beloved Sam's Club, the wonderful supermarket, or the big three major Price Club or warehouse stores. You have that Sam's Club, of course. You have Costco, and you have BJ's Wholesale. Anyhow, they had this sort of special arrangement. It was a 12 pack of these beers. You had this. You had the Japanese beer Ashi, and you had Pilsner Urquell or Quill. And about 4 beers. 4 beers of this, 4 beers of that, and 4 beers of that. Give you 12. There you go. 12 pack. And that's my first time I had it. I'm sure the guys, I'm trying to remember if myself and Ronald J. Terrio, we've done a review of this beer. We probably have. I don't know if I was involved in that review. Anyhow. Here you go. Your pale lager is how it looks. It's the color. Some nice lacing on this beer here. I'm surprised to see. So, as you can see in my glass. Let's get to the scent before I start tasting it. Very herbal scents to this beer immediately. A lot of malts. It has that lager smell, but again, it's one of them traditional Euro lagers, some scents compared to the American lagers that that aroma, herbal, a lot of grass, some herbs, and it has that scent to it. Wow, this is very strong. Onto this taste. Now, most lagers are between 4 and 5% ABV, but some could be a lot stronger. But again, with these Euro lagers, I've always said, you think you're drinking a powerful lager, and it's low, maybe 4% maybe, but you think you're drinking more of it. Like it has a real more kick to it. But onto the taste. Yeah, I can dig this. I can dig this quite a bit. So, there's some music playing in the background, something from Luther Vandross from way back in the day. This is nice, guys. The night that I fell in love. Boom, 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 boom. The night. I like jazz. This is really good, folks. I don't know why they give it a poor score. I mean, I'm just trying to figure that out. Why? I don't think that's really necessary. I think it's a really good beer, in my opinion. Give this a poor score is just completely absurd, man. But oh well, it is what it is. But this is really good. As I mentioned, I think they stopped doing it now. This beer, as well as Pilsner Urquell, I'm about to say Urkel, but Urquell, all under the ownership of SABMiller. Of course, SABMiller and now Anheuser-Busch InBev have now joined forces. So now the beer is going to have even a wider reach. And I think the main reason of this partnership, if I get off track here, about to ramble, that's what it is, a ramble, beer ramble. I think the main thing was sort of reach certain markets, particularly the South African market, or American, the African market, I should say, or South African, um, which has really become quite, big, really huge in terms, in terms of beer distribution, reaching certain markets they haven't reached before. So I think that was the main reason of that agreement or that merger. Um, Either SAB could not get into. I think SAB was already in the African market, but I think Anheuser-Busch InBev was trying to tap into that market and expand themselves even further with some of their beers. Miller. I mean, Bud, Bud Light, King Cobra, Hurricane, um, Bush Light. Whatever. InBev, of course, Stella Artois and some of those other beers. So I guess just to reach and say, hey, we're coming in, got some great stuff for y'all to sample. So, but this beer, of course, is very popular. It is very popular in Italy. I can see eating some cheese sticks, a nice, real authentic style pizza with pepperoni. I mean, this would be good with this beer. You want to do some clams, some mussels, or something like that. However it's prepared, that would be good with this beer. Um, this is really very refreshing, very easygoing, and again, I'm just trying to understand the poor score that Beer Advocate and the Bros would give this beer. I mean, it's quite good. So, and like you said, 5.1% ain't bad. Budweiser and other lagers are within that 5 range. For 4.7, 4.6, or 5, right there, rounded off. But 5.1, this is pretty good. 5.2, probably even more stronger. But this is a very easy drinking beer that I can have, again and again and again and again. Imagine I brought this to a party and say, hey guys, hey, I got Peroni, we're gonna celebrate, have a good time. What beer is that? Peroni? Hmm? You know, I was surprised the other night I was at a fish fry. My significant other and her cousins and her cousin and her husband were invited us to fish fry, and I saw Modelo and I saw Yingling, and I said, okay, cool. It doesn't have to be Bud Light or Budweiser, but they had Yingling, they had Modelo, and I was like, okay. Of course, Modelo is good with fried fish and some crawfish too. We had some crawfish as well, which was very spicy and quite good. So anyhow, um, I'm rating for this beer. I'm gonna give this thing an 8.5. I think it's about fair. I don't agree with the poor score they put down. It's a 67. That would be a 6 in my scale. But I'm gonna give this beer an 8.5. Okay, I don't really give beers negative reviews unless it's something that I really, really find deplorable. Then I would give it a negative beer. And most of the beers I've had so far have been pretty good, fair, decent. Um, so yeah, this is quite enjoyable. I perfectly like this. Again, summertime as we get into the warm months of the year, summer, we're going to be doing a lot of, you know, barbecuing. I know I'm going to be doing a lot of get-togethers with friends out here in the backyard. I mean, this is a perfect beer to have. Sit down, have some friends, and enjoy your time. And this is this would be a good beer to enjoy amongst friends together. So, yeah, I'm gonna give this beer an 8.5. I don't think it deserves that poor score by Beer Advocate and the bros. But tell me what you think, folks. If you think this is the score deservingly to be fair, should it be higher? Let me know. Leave your comments on the bottom. John Anderson Pierre, the Beer and TV Ramble, telling you to keep watching. And as always, cheers. Bang!